Okay, what's up? My name is Theo Davis, and I'm just going to show you and explain a little bit about how I draw some anime characters from start to finish. Yeah, basically, I'm not the best when it comes to coloring, but I'm going to do my best to show you a little bit. So right now I'm using a webcam pad. Actually, it's a bamboo tablet. It's one of those drawing tablets. It's really cool. I highly suggest you pick one up. You can get one for like $69, and it really helps you with the drawing. So here I'm going to be drawing a woman. As you see, I'm using a blue pen just because I like that color when I'm doing the initial sketch of it. Don't worry about how rough it looks. This is just the sketch. You're going to put another layer on top of this and actually do the inking and the outline. So what you may have noticed earlier on, I readjusted the jawline because you know, if it doesn't look right, you have the erase tool and you can erase. I did the same thing with the shoulder just now. Just keep sketching until all the proportions kind of look right, and she's starting to take some shape there. For the most part, I'm just, you know, highlighting the collarbone. That helps give her more of a feminine look. The hair, making it nice and long. Sometimes with anime characters, it's a little hard to tell between the boys and the girls, so it's good to exaggerate the hair and some of the more feminine features if you can. So now I'm just going back through and just putting in some detail that I'm going to later bring out. And here is the actual inking process that I'm doing. Now, what I've done is I'm actually putting a layer over top of the blue layer that you saw me draw earlier. That means that I'm pretty much just, what's it called? I'm just tracing at this point, and then eventually I'll be able to take away the blue layer, and it'll only be the black. So this gives me the ability to make all the lines nice and smooth, not have all of those sketchy lines everywhere. It'll just be a nice smooth picture. So, excuse me. So yeah, it's kind of it's a long process, but it assures you that it's going to get you the best picture in the long run. One thing you might notice right now is that the picture looks a little bit pixelated. It doesn't look that smooth. That's because right now I'm drawing on a netbook, and those computers are really small, so I have to make the picture really small in order for me to draw on it and see all the scale size. But when you're drawing this on a normal size screen, my screen's like 13, maybe 10 inches, 13 or 10 inches. But when you're drawing on a normal size screen, it's going to look a lot better for you. So yeah, so now I'm just kind of continuing to do the outline in the black. When I zoom out to 100%, I think I'm zoomed in to like 150, maybe 200 right now. But when I zoom out to 100%, it's not going to look as pixelated as it does right now. Yeah, see, it looks a little bit smoother. So yeah, still just taking some long strokes, outlining everything. You know, I'm playing with the back layer. I just took away the blue layer on the backside, and now I'm starting to fill in with the color. Now this is actually my first color drawing, so we're going to kind of see how it turns out. Most people will put a pretty light layer for the skin down. I'm actually putting this color layer underneath the ink layer so that the ink is always on top. That kind of helps when you're filling in the lines, and you know, you don't have to be so precise. So yeah, I'm just filling in all her skin, you know, making it that nice light color. Now I'm going back with a little bit of a darker color to try and give it some depth, to try and give her a little bit more complexion. Don't worry so much about you know, if it blends right away. We're going to blend it later. And again, I'm using primarily 3 colors for any shade that I do, just to try and keep it simple. So then the dark brown is going to be the darkest shadow layer. So just kind of filling that in. Now I'm taking the smudge tool, and I'm just kind of smudging all these colors together. You really can't see. I'm going to zoom in a second. But just smoothing it out, making it seem more natural, so it doesn't seem so rugged and rigid. You can kind of see right there I'm playing with it and just making it smoother. The finish, you can't really tell on YouTube, but I'm going to post this on my homepage on deviantart.com, and just look for the Fat Chipmunk, and that's where you'll find me. My name is Theodore, so Alvin, Simon, Theodore. Theodore was the Fat Chipmunk, so that's kind of where I got that from. The lips, I did an okay job. I was just kind of playing around. As I said before, I'm not a colorist. Color's not my thing, but I'm doing my best to kind of play around with it for this anime drawing. So here I'm playing around with the eyes, trying to figure out the best size for the eyes. In a second I'm just going to delete it and start over again because I just wasn't happy with it. So I'm zooming in now, trying to make the iris the right, you know, size that I want. Now I'm trying to use some bolder colors, starting off with a deep black, and then I'm going to do some highlights of blue. Just kind of blending that in there. And then I'm going to, again, use the smudge tool, smudge out the blue to give it that little bit of a shine, that anime shine in the upper left corner of their eye, or their right corner, I guess. And, yeah, excuse me. Let's see. What else am I doing? So now I'm starting with the hair. I'm going to use that base color for green, and I'm just going to, you know, be very careful and just kind of outline all the green. I'm using a pretty thin pen so I don't go over the skin layer. Now I could do the green in a different layer, but I was just lazy, so I decided to do all the color in one layer. It'll be easier for you to paint and erase after the fact if you do the hair in one layer and the skin in another, but I just wanted to do it all in one. So now that I've outlined all the skin, near the skin, I'm just kind of randomly painting around it all, trying to fill in those creases. And this painting actually took me, this whole process took me about 2 hours to do. It should take me less time, but you know, I'm still getting familiar with the software and the tablet. I've only had the tablet for a couple of days now, so yeah, I'm not going to do anything too fancy with the hair, just give it some dark highlights. I'm just using 2 basic colors. You'll usually want to use at least 3 colors for the hair, but yeah, I was just lazy and I didn't want to screw it up, so so now I'm going to go back and I'm taking again the smudge tool and I'm just kind of softening all these lines, making it look a little bit more natural. And again, you'll see other people on YouTube and DeviantArt who do a much better job. I'm trying to learn from them. But yeah, it just practice makes perfect. The more you play around with it, the better you'll eventually get. Now, one trick you're going to see me use here in a sec. Oh, right, and I'm going to go ahead and paint in the dress. But one trick you'll see me use in a second is, you notice how all of the outside of her is it's just the plain old white. Well, you never want to leave a picture just normal white on the background layer, because if you have this beautiful drawing, especially if it's color, the white can tend to take away from that. So you're gonna wanna paint it something, whether it's an actual backdrop painting or just a solid color. I'm gonna paint it, I think, gray, but that's really gonna help with popping out the picture, making it pop out a lot more. So you saw a few seconds ago I was just doing the dress. I'm doing the shading. You always want to do some shadows underneath the breasts, and that'll help show where those are, and did a couple of different layers of that. And now I'm just going behind and cleaning up, taking the erase tool and just cleaning up around the edges that I can see. You're also going to notice once I do put that gray layer underneath all these other layers, some of the imperfections are going to pop out on the edges, and then I'm just going to go behind again and fix that up. So now I'm just painting over it. Now I'm cleaning that up a little bit. And you also may have noticed those colors I used on the side. They're just kind of in the corner there. That's basically just for quick reference. So there you go.